Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to the Forgotten City and episode 6 of our blind playthrough. In the last episode, we found out what happened to Naevia and along the way acquired a golden bow. And I know I've said it probably every single episode that we have recorded so far. This changes everything. Yeah, last episode was a lot of fun, finding out Naevia, listening to the golden statues, sort of coming to some incorrect conclusions about the souls still being, the live person still being trapped inside of the statue, and those people being the voices that she was hearing. Yeah, anyways. We in order to get the bow, we managed to kill the intruder in the fallen little shrine. So, yeah, let's get back into the world and see what's next for us. Do you think we should try and fall down here? There's this right here, right? I was sitting here debating, should I try and take that zip line, or I jumped way too far, or should I try and like go somewhere here? This looks like it's the end of the road. I don't think I can go any further. There's nothing blocking me, but definitely an invisible an invisible barrier. Okay, so what's our goal for today? Well, who knows? I have a bow. I feel like that'll probably change everything. I'm super interested to find out if what happens at the start of another quote-unquote time loop, which I'm calling it that for the only, because that's about the only thing I know how to call it right now. So yeah, let's look around. I'm sure some things will have changed now that we have this bow. More fletched arrows. That's fantastic. You can't move. Note from Naevia. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it. I'm hearing noises from inside of there. I don't know that I like it. What else around here? I'm still so curious. I feel like the time loop should be ending soon, right? Like I mentioned at the end of the last episode, maybe time sort of pauses in a game sense inside of the temple that I was in with Naevia. What is this wind doing? Who are these two people? What are you pointing at? 246 denarii? A loaf of bread? I love bread. I can't jump to my death here. Good to know. Why does this area exist? I sort of have the idea, and I think it's probably a flawed idea, but I sort of have the idea, as a person who's relatively new to video games, I didn't play a ton as a kid, and I picked them up as an adult, that if an area exists in a game, it should have a purpose, right? Why else would someone build it? What is this area for? There's a little water, a little fountain. There's these two people. There's a chest, but the chest didn't seem important. Well, to me, it must be this pointing, right? Is it like pointing at, the outside world, the potential escape? What's it for? I don't know. To survive, we must all be kind. Corrected to, we must all be wise. Corrected to, we must all be obedient. And finally, corrected to, we must all be question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, what's over here? I have no idea. Let's find out. It's definitely getting late. And you're an archer, so we need to be careful. Of course, with the addition of the bow, a whole bunch of new potential actions. Is that Sisyphus? A whole bunch of new potential actions just arrived for us. What happens if we shoot an archer with a bow? I don't know. Can I push it? Can I jump on top of it? Nope. You still look at me, huh? No? I thought you were facing the other way at first. There it is. All right. I don't know. I'm debating just shooting literally everything with my bow, and I'm debating shooting nothing with my bow, because it might be kind of nice to have some arrows left over. Is there a reason to jump up here, or am I just having fun doing parkour? Who knows? Kind of looked like I could make it up on top of that. Nope. Okay. There's a little something over here. I don't know that I just want to go, like, exploring willy-nilly. I kind of want to proceed in some sort of... with some sort of, plan. Find a creative way into the upper cistern. That's what this is. Do we need to roll this boulder into a, into something to, like, knock it over? Is there another way? That's the upper cistern right there. Okay. Good to know. We're just going to take a peek around and see if we can't get the lay of the land here, you know? We'll see what that building does in a second. Oh, no, we won't. I don't remember the last time I saved. Probably at the start of the episode. If I had to guess. I should probably save a little bit more. Should probably save a little bit more often. What is my button for quick save? Control. Sorry, bindings. Quick save has to be a button, right? Previous visual style? What? That's these buttons right here? Oh, interesting. Old film, embossed, papyrus, black and white, Western, Mad Max. I think these are mostly for photo mode. The metrics, Las Vegas, Hellish, Game Child, Mosaic, color cartoon. Oh my lord. Anyways, I just took a lot of fall damage, but I saved some arrows. All right. I didn't see a quick save button. Did I just take damage from this fire? I did. Okay. Well, that makes sense. We'll just retrace our steps really quickly. There's probably a button for quick saving, but I just don't know what it is. And I don't want to just hit buttons because it might mess up my recording software. Like a lot of times it's one of the function buttons like F5, F6, F7, F8. But some of those are I use for different recording software purposes. So I don't want to just randomly hit them and see what happens. Over here, water under the bridge. Dope. Okay. So, what is this building? I wonder if I can eat bread. I have bread in my inventory, right? I was like, I wonder if I could eat it to gain health again. Does not look like it. Got a little staircase down the back. Some sort of missing piece. Some sort of obelisk here. Somebody removed a plaque from here. I'll need to find it to decipher the meaning of the obelisk. Oh man, I love it when I know the correct word for a thing. Interesting. So maybe that's what we should be looking for around the sort of wilderness areas around this big tall building. More graffiti. How can we pass this test if we don't know the rules? Does that suggest testing the rules? Like seeing if suicide counts, for instance? The sort of thing I've been doing in terms of testing the rules? Or does that suggest we've been set up to fail because we don't know the rules of the test that we're doing? Great Temple door is locked. Where would this thing be? You think it's below? Right there. Also a zip line. Let's take a look back here real quick, if I can get up here. Just gonna look with our flashlight out for a plaque, just in case. I'm also trying to scan for, like, if I have this ability to turn things golden, then does it make sense to do that? You know, like, if I turn the correct thing golden, then can I climb up it, you know? I have not seen this plaque yet. Okay. Missing plaque for the obelisk. What's down this little walkway? We could take the zip line, but that's the shortcut. I want to take the long way there for now, just so that I can make sure and look for graffiti. Look at these statues. Oh, what a cool game. Just looking at the city. Trying to get a view of the city. Not getting a very good view. Okay. Little campfire. Find treasure using the golden bow. I just got a team achievement. And a statue. 250 denarii. Oops, sorry, get that flashlight back out.
I will try to help you.
Yes, please, try to help me. Because I don't know what I'm doing here. I very much don't know what I'm doing here. You know, the list of mysteries I still have to figure out is very long. Okay. A ladder there. I'm stuck. Oh, I just about fell. Gosh. 67 denarii. Oh, that'd be a bad fall. You have a big stairway going down. Okay, that's a zip line into here. And then there are levels. Oh my god, this is... I know where we are. This is the way I have avoided going the entire game so far. Interesting. I wonder if someday I'm going to get a lighter. Because there are, like... Or something. There are torches all along the wall, or like braziers. I've seen a couple campfires that, that looked like maybe they could be lit. This is just the exploration episode, apparently. I'm just jumping in any water I can. Jumping off any ledges. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, here's an interesting question. Why is that glowing? Is that like a visual signal for, like, I should shoot it with a bow? Oh, that's a big fall. No, and I didn't save. Why am I like this? I completely forgot to save. You know the drill. Back to the start. Not back to the start. Apparently I auto-saved up here or something. Interesting. Okay. We'll hit that just to remind ourselves that it exists. We have, or, yeah. Remind ourselves it exists. Let's take this zipline this time. Man, this game is cool. We had not done this. I already got the Steam achievement, so they can't take that away from me. I wonder if there are any secrets, like, in that area. Here, we can go all the way down. Chest. Okay, so does this make sense what I was saying over here? We'll find a different way down there. But it looks like something was, like, sort of glowing down that way. We need to find a different way down there. So let's go. We're just sort of chasing whatever seems fun to chase right now. That's the plan. I kind of feel like maybe there will be an election any second now. And, and if that happens, then we're going to need to start over anyways. Let's zipline into the water. And then go over there. Is there anything here that I can shoot? Things are so dark. It's got to be close to an election, right? Right over here. Ah, this is where they farm. There's like cabbage, wheat. I don't know, onions. Flowers. This guy is absolutely caked up. Holy, look at those quads. And she is terrified. Okay, and then first off, this simply must be a Steam achievement. Golden goose? Can I kick it over? It's not a Steam achievement. Goose eggs. Laid by the city's goose. Okay. The city no longer has a goose. This is what I thought was, maybe I'm supposed to shoot the eggs for a golden egg. I don't know. Supposed to is a weird word there. I'm just playing around and seeing what the game will and won't let me do. These butterflies are the thing that I thought I was seeing. Like a visual indicator that I should shoot something. Next save, we'll have to try to shoot the eggs because I think that might be interesting. I don't know. The golden goose doesn't do anything. Okay. Well. Well, I guess it's kind of time to figure out what we want to work on rather than just exploring. I really enjoyed just exploring, but we have who's bugging Virgil. We have stopping Ulpius from killing himself. Getting Galerius elected, and then giving the flower to Equisha. I don't really remember where Equisha lives or what I know about Equisha. Did I look at this recently? I think I did. Equisha lives in the lower villa as a Vestal priestess. Hold up. I have an idea. Butterflies. I'm telling you. Please don't tell me I got stuck inside of it. Butterflies are the indicator. I think there's something to that. An abandoned chest. Fletched arrows and denarii. A bottle of wine. Possibly the last bottle of wine in the city. Could that be used as a gift to someone, or or to in some way, you know, make a friend or bribe someone? I don't know. Okay. So the butterflies are a visual indicator. I knew I was onto something. We should shoot that egg. Okay. Now, what should we test next? First off, let's save just to be careful because I've messed up like 14 times today. I kind of want to see if I could get through this door. Meaning I would need to do something bad. Make that happen. Here's where the election will take place, but no election has taken place, and I really feel like it's like past due. I wonder if that's because we haven't talked to anyone.
Oh, shiny.
Ooh, shiny? My bow?
Salve and welcome. Need something? All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Of course. No worries. Secundus and Cythera were together until the end. I still don't know what that means. I kind of feel like I'm a little bit running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm in like a sort of waiting to start a new loop, quote unquote. And also just seeing what's possible. Is this how I got into the temple? It is, right? No? Now I can't remember. How did I even get up to the area where Navia was? Was this it? This is where I came in. This is where I came in from. The red thing here. Always remember they're watching. Yeah. Oh my god. Now I remember. I came in here because I was like, there's these statues watching me. I fell down the hole into this. Yeah, into this and then through. Okay. There was a mosaic here at the start. Somebody holding something. Super specific of me. Somebody holding something. Okay. I feel like maybe I'm missing something about the, like, quote unquote, what I keep calling the time loop. I wonder if I'm just wrong. I wonder if there's nothing like that. There's no time loop. There's no... I wonder if I assumed it was a time loop, and it was not. It was actually there's just a bunch of different ways to trigger the end of a cycle, and it's not actually on. Sorry, I'm trying to talk out loud while also think through things at the same time, and that means that I don't do either one of them very well. I wonder if it wasn't actually a time loop. It was just, like I sort of said, a series of Jenga towers that will fall unless you solve them. And now I've solved one or two of them. Like maybe Yulia would have died from, committing suicide. Maybe maybe something with Navia would have triggered it. I'm not sure. Okay. This is locked, right? No? Not locked. I've been in here. The other one is locked, way down at the other end. A vase, Greek vase, painted with people in geometric shapes. What is this? What is this little secret? What the hell? Whoa! Okay, this is why we take our time. Oil lamp, somebody has been through here recently. Okay, let's back up. Tip, hit C to crouch. Greek statue of a woman. Greek statue probably of the goddess to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. That seems like a hint. Greek sculpture of a young boy's head. There's a snake here. Okay. What else do we have? Another vase. Some kind of battle. Crumbling Greek statue of a woman. This has been here for a long time. Oh, we are going down. I don't think I need to crouch anymore. A lyre. Lyres are played by being strummed by plectrums. Okay. I didn't know that. A plectrum instead of a pick. What am I going to find down here? Super secretive. Oh my god, this thing is huge. And there's a person right there. Are they going to be mad that I'm here? Or are they going to be willing to talk to me? Maybe it's more than one person. I just see the one, though. This is just a really large area for... The plaque! The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Never mind. I also got a Steam achievement for finding out what lies hidden beneath the city. Do you think this is where... Do you think this is like... Do you think Sentia is here? If they escaped... I mean, and they're living in a secret area down below. This doesn't look like Sentia, though.
Ah, a visitor.
Scared the shit out of me. Unknown Greek general, his helmet pulled up off of his head. Hanging fish. This old man is compensating for his lack of sunlight with these vitamins.
Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Lil Indigestion.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I found this place by accident.
Then perhaps the fates brought you here to learn the secrets of this place.
Who are you?
I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
I think I have found things a little bit out of order, potentially. Not yet.
You have much to learn. It's best if you figure it out on your own. Come back once you've made progress.
I'm going to call this guy Suck. S-U-C. Stranger under city. Fair enough. I don't want you to tell me. No, I don't want spoilers. Fair enough. Who the hell is this guy? Okay. Well. Cool. This is for later.
Ah, you've returned.
I'll come back. I don't want to do things out of order. Out of order is a strong word. I'll come back. I need to find the name. I need to update my to-do list is what I need to do. Find name of God. Talk to stranger under city. Find the missing plaque for the obelisk. I think I can mark Great Temple off of the list because I'm pretty sure that's where I found Nevia. He was living in the Great Temple. I still need to go into the cistern. There's plenty I need to do. Let's get out of here for now, though. We have our to-do list in the game as well. I'm just using the to-do list on my notebook as a second one. Okay. Very interesting. Are you guys gonna hold an election and end this cycle, or what? Or do I need to do something? Like, am I misreading the game here? This is the room that I found the thing.
Hello there,
That's how I
partner.
did it. Duh.
I'm glad you're here. I think there might have been some confusion about my little practical joke earlier. You see, my plan was to give you a little fright. You know, like two friends joking around at the Saturnalia.
That's right.
And then, surprise, I'd open the door.
You locked me in here.
But
I
when
forgot.
I opened it, you were gone.
I don't believe you. Sorry, my memory, it's bad. This is the room that I then found the Nevia area from, because Dacius locked me in here. Because we switched out the golden bow, etc., etc. I don't believe you.
Partner, I swear, this is just a misunderstanding. Look, why don't you keep our bow as compensation?
Of course. My bow? Don't worry, I'm keeping it. I bet this is what we have to do to end the time loop.
Fine, fine. It's a credit to you that you're able to see the humour in all of this. Now, can I help you with something?
I'll be going now.
Very well. Another time.
How does this game work? Oh, I'm so obsessed with trying to figure it out. Am I crazy for thinking there was a time loop? There's a stranger here. Let's talk to the stranger. I don't know.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you.
Ah!
I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Well, Equitia. I know some information about you. And I have I know that you've taken a vow of chastity, and I know that I have a flower for you. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
That's a great attitude, Equitia. I'm going to try to remember to call you Equitia and not Equisha. Equitia. What's your story? How'd you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
Pretty sure I died. A young woman named Karen dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
Actually, I think I see where this is going.
You do? Well then, have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
Cool. So the game does... This is interesting. The game does sort of point you towards the game points you towards the tree that I've been barking up, if that makes sense. I'll do that.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
Livia? What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help.
Galerius, huh?
But she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
AKA, Livia asked questions about where people were from and how they got here, and discovered the thing many of you all are avoiding or are too blind to see, which is that you all died. And that you are quote-unquote bloodless shadows because you are souls trapped in a type of predicament post-life. I've already noticed a pattern.
You have? Then what is it?
Cool. We have a new quest that we've actually already made progress on. Some people mentioned a river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
Some people mentioned memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
They encountered a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes. I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. You mentioned earlier, you met a young woman in the forest named Karen, yes?
Yes, probably spelled a little bit differently than that. Here's the other thing, though. I would have viewed the pattern as people specifically from one time and one area, minus Fabia. Here's the other thing I would say is a pattern. Almost everyone was there on the day Rome caught fire and they fell into the river. However, Fabia was not. Fabia was not in the city. And I think Fabia is the only person I've talked to that was not. So that's the thing that I'm interested in. Why was Fabia different? That's correct.
I see. And was this Karen, by any chance, wearing a hood?
I don't remember. She was wearing a hoodie? How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see.
Oh.
I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
I am excited. Let's do it. I'll meet you in the baths.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Well, I mean, we could. Tap E to follow your guide. It's definitely dark. Sorry, I'm obsessing about this time loop thing. I'm obsessing. This has been a fun conversation so far. I like Equitia. Are you going to look at the mosaic? Is that the deal? Is the mosaic going to tell us the answer? Or is it going to be the shoe? What are you going to look at in here? There's some secret in this room I didn't piece together.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood.
Mm-hmm.
Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to
Oh, a
make out in
hood!
this
Right
light.
here.
If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking
The
up
coin.
by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon,
Or
who,
fairy
in
woman.
exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
In exchange
When
for
I
the right
dragged you out
coin?
the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an
called
endless
it.
commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
I have had a lot of fun piecing this together ahead of time. This is a really fun twist in this game, I think. I think it's really fun. I'd be super curious, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you've played the game, when did you figure it out? When did you piece this together? When did you need this quest to prompt you? I'm certain there are going to be things that it takes me much too long to figure out. There's already been times in this game where I didn't realize the solution, even though it was right ahead of me, like how to kill the intruder by using the shrine that kills Fabia. But I feel pretty proud of figuring this one out. But I'd be interested to hear, when did you figure it out? Did you need Equitia's help? Or did you have your suspicions from that line about the commute pretty early on? This place is the underworld, and I'm dead.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
Pluto, that changes things. Hell yeah. I'm a little bit bummed that I didn't get the normal conversation with Equitia. I wonder if I will still get those dialogue options. We're dead?
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Also, I had this thought earlier, and I didn't say it out loud, so I'm going to say it now. I wonder if the reason we are here, in terms of the question of why all of these ancient Roman people are here, and then me, who knows what a flashlight is and knows that Karen is a name that has particularly funny connotations in 2020. I wonder if the reason I'm here is that I had a denarius in my pocket when I died. It said Karen in exchange for a particular coin, and I chose my background as an archaeologist. Is this why I made it here? Even if I wouldn't have chosen archaeologist, I guess I would have had a denarius in my pocket. I don't know. That's my current working hypothesis, my current working theory. What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it.
Interesting.
Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Karen immediately? I'm just going to keep saying Karen because that's how I have been thinking of this character.
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress.
Interesting.
But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
I wonder if it's possible that I have mostly only talked to people who lived in ancient Rome. However, that the city contains plenty of people who did not live in ancient Rome. Like, I've mostly talked to, like, Galerius, Horatius, Cynthia, Lucretia, Dacius type people who, when I hear their story, that's where they're from. But maybe the people that Equitia just mentioned are, from vastly different times and places, and therefore see different Karens. And why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
I'm going to write down, why did I have a denarius on me when I died? Seems like a weird thing to carry around in 2020. Were you trying to keep this from me? Because you said early on...
No. I mean,
that you
I
had
had
your
my
suspicions,
especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
Okay, that's all the questions that I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it. if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
This game is so cool. Holy crap. Oh, I love this. Equitia is helping us put it all into a clear perspective and a clear route forward. Can't we escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Okay. So we have learned that Pluto is the god of the underworld. Let's ask this question. I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting, tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
She might be willing to work against him to help us?
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
Ah, the game says I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then. I was going to say, I don't know, I just found an old man stranger hanging out underneath the city. If I had to put my money on someone being a spirit, that guy could be it. I don't know. Yeah, the statues.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
I gotta say, this game, one of the things that I have really loved about this game so far is that to me, it has done a really clear job of making the interesting things interesting. Before this conversation with Equitia, I was doing the Sherlocking on my own time, being like, why are the statues whispering to me, and with what voice are they speaking? I was doing the what is the deal with our past and why it's all similar but not quite the same? What's the deal there? One way to make a player care about what you want them to care about is to tell them in NPC dialogue that they should care about it. Another way is to just make it the most interesting thing in the game so that they have to sit there and fiddle with it and be like, why is our past similar? Why what is the deal with these statues? You know, this is the question most interesting to me. And then an NPC says, it's an interesting question, isn't it? And then, I don't know. It's just, does that make sense? The game has a lot of intrigue, and it feels very focused in that way, which I think is a sign of good writing, good design. It's always the same voice. She's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself.
Interesting.
If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
That's true. Here's the other question. Is the stranger under the city Pluto? Does that make sense? Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold. I have a couple tricks on my sleeve.
I'll admit, you do
like this
seem
gun.
different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
So, turns out I had the wrong idea about which building was the Great Temple. We have not been inside of the Great Temple. There are 4 plaques missing. And that's how we would get an audience. Okay, what can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the Great Temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too.
Interesting.
Although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Interesting. If at the end of this conversation, Equitia does not say something about a time loop, then this conversation will still have been the most helpful one I've had all day, and I will still have the question over my head: is this game a time loop or not? Is the election going to happen again? I'm just kind of waiting on it to happen. Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place.
Ask
It would have had
Malleolus.
the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name
Interesting.
to be forgotten.
Intrigue!
There's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious
Are you telling me
monuments
Malleolus
whose
is a Christian?
existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy.
Is that the
But I
insinuation?
did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Okay. So let's call that secret Christian shrine. Plaque on our to-do list. What about the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Okay. We know Georgius. Egyptian.
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Oh my god, we have so much to learn from this game. We have so much to do. Where is about the mystery plaque? Any idea?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps the goddess will help guide you to it when the time is right.
The Serpina. Let's talk about something else. I have a flower for you. I'm ready to get started.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Okay. I'll have a chat with Livia.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin.
Is it?
May Fortuna guide you.
Is it of the
Although
essence?
you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Is it a time loop? Is the election gonna happen? Okay, super interesting. Holy crap, what a conversation. I'm just gonna say the thing that I've said 5 episodes before now. Aha, so the true nature of the game is revealed. Tune in next time to see us play the new game that we have unveiled. We now understand there's plaques. We must either defeat or escape Pluto. And I have no idea whether or not we're in a goddamn time loop. I don't know, and it's driving me crazy. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new one. We're going to keep these episodes coming hot and heavy every day until we're done. That's the goal. I hope I can keep up with that. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like the video. Bye-bye.